Bonjour! Welcome to our tasting today. Master Charlie is going to taste, as promised, the vintage sake. Lisa is going to help too. So I think that Master wants to go on his sofa. Voila. He gave me all the directions to try and make this tasting go smoothly. So for those who were with me in Osaka, I found this 99 vintage sake at my hotel. I was at the Intercontinental and I found this 99 vintage sake, which of course was very appealing to me because I think that many people don't know that you can age sake. And usually the result is, I think, pretty good. So I kept it to have it at home, which we are going today. So just a few explanations. This is Daiginjo, so high quality sake, 99 vintage. And this one has, sometimes, so sake nihonshu, they mix it sometimes with alcohol and distilled alcohol and sometimes not. This one has been mixed with 40% of alcohol. This is, I think, why it could be aged. So also interesting, please look, there is lots of sediment in there. Look at this. Attends, you need maybe on the white back. Can you see all the sediment? I tried not to move it too much so that you can see it. It's really like brown. So now I'm going to move it. I hope you can see. Look at this. And the color is really, it's a dark yellow. It's golden. It's a golden color, right? Oops, sorry. I was looking at the sediment myself. So, I mean, this is so amazing, right? Attends, this is not easy to show you. Can you see? So hopefully this is the proof that this is going to be a very tasty sake. So let's open it. This 99, oh my god, this start is not really good. Huh? I have to concentrate. Alors, and we have a cork. So, you know, it's like it's been aged like a wine, I think. And hold on a second, I need some paper. It's still the Kafun season, you know, the hay fever. I have hay fever. So yes, this is a Daiginjo, so very high. Usually that's the top quality, right? So the rice is polished at least, they polish it more usually than 50%. So only, but you know, usually when it's really good Daiginjo, they only keep 35-40% of the rice. So this is why it gets expensive, but also really refined. I think I should try it. So you saw it has a cork like wine. Also, one thing, you cannot age, sake would not age if you put it in the freezer, in the fridge. And I know that it is said that you should keep nihonshu sake in the fridge, but please do not keep it. You can put it in the fridge once it's open. And then you can keep it for about a week. It will keep its good condition for about a week. But before that, just keep it like wine in a cool and dark place in your house. Okay, so now I'm going to open it. I've been waiting for this moment for about 2 weeks too, so. And I think the smell is probably going Smells like, yeah. Oh my. This looks really like thick. It's like almost greasy. Can you see? Like oily, the texture. I'm tempted to to touch it, but I won't. So, you know that to drink sake, these are the traditional ochoko. Do you know why there are those blue lines at the bottom of this traditional classic ochoko? There are those lines because high track, because it enables you to check out the color of the sake better. Those lines. If the cup were only white, you could not check out the color that well, I hear. So what I'm going to do is taste it with the classic ochoko, but also in a wine glass, because I think I like to drink my sake in a wine glass. I will explain why later. So, the master, you have to see the master is sleeping. Look at the master, voila. He kept his little Parisian hat. Voila, so master, I'm going to do the tasting now. I can't help doing this, huh? I know, I'm bad. 99 sake, almost 20 years old. Let's try it. So the sediment has pretty much mixed into the whole thing, I think so. Nice sound, huh? Wow, this color, oh my god, it's so deep. Look at this color, this is amazing. And it smells really, it has a deep, strong smell. Can you see this? It's like, it's really a dark yellow, a dark golden color. See with the lines you see better, huh? Okay. Oh my god, it smells. Yeah, it really has, you know what? Actually, it smells like sherry. You know, it's almost like it doesn't smell like a sake anymore. It smells like sherry, you know, the Spanish alcohol. Also, hold on a second. This is supposed to be 17 to 18 degrees. Let's try it, but it really smells like as if the content of this sake was higher, the alcohol content, but it's only 17 to 18. So I'm going to taste it. Itadakimasu. It's really amazing, but because it also tastes like sherry, I think. And it's probably due to the fact that it has such a high content of alcohol, 40%. They mixed sake. When they make sake, sometimes it's just the rice, but also sometimes they add what is called the seishu. This is a distilled alcohol. So I think that's why, wow, only in Antarctica. Okay, I didn't know there was such a channel. That's nice. I think that's why, you know, it's because sherry is, I think, also distilled alcohol, right? If I remember well my wine classes. So maybe this is why it's so similar, the smell and the taste. But the taste is not, the content of alcohol is lower than sherry, right? So it's really, it has a round taste. It's pretty mild, actually. And it's not too sharp. in the mouth. It still has a high, you know, acidity, but it's pretty well balanced. So it's interesting. I think actually I was thinking of having this as an aperitif, you know, but actually this might be better as an after meal sake, because you know here, or at least you know you would have to have maybe some fatty food with this, because this kind of sake would really rinse your mouth, I think. I'm going to taste it to see the difference, tasting it in the wine glass, because I think that usually when you taste the sake in a wine glass, it gets rounder and the flavor really expands in the glass, and when you smell it. So this is why I like to drink my sake as I drink wine. So here you see it's really like white wine, right? You could think maybe this is some Chardonnay, don't you think? Oh yeah, it's even more powerful, the smell, and it really has, honestly, it's, if you've ever had cherry, this is exactly the same smell. This is really interesting. Itadakimasu again. And I think that having it in the wine glass, it also makes it rounder and smoother in the mouth. You know, when you have wine, it's always, especially if it's tannic, if you have it in a round wine and you turn it, it will, like, it doesn't melt the tannins, but it just opens the whole thing. And I think it's the same with sake. And this is, it's interesting, this sake, because it's both strong, powerful, but also it has some kind of gentleness. And I think this is because it's been aged for, this is a 99, which is, it's the first time I'm having such an old sake. I've had, let's say, 8 years, 10 years aged sake. A 99, it's really the first time. And yes, this is the sake, I bought it at the Intercontinental. I had to, because I did not find it online. So I think it's pretty rare. And hold on a second, I forgot the name of this maker. I found, yes, it's, I will put the information in the description because I forgot, sorry. I was so focused on taking a nice picture of Charlie, the sake expert. The winery, the brewery is called Senju. Can you see, hold on a second, here, Senju. And this Senju brewery has other, like, more classic sake that you can buy online, but they did not have, I could not find the 99 nor other vintage sake. Also, I made some research, and the sakes, the vintage sakes I could find online, the oldest one was something like 2008. So I think this is a really pretty rare stuff, and like, oh my god, I'm almost half through it. I didn't drink it, all of it yet, but it's what we have only, it's a 200 milliliters bottle. So it's really beautiful. I think I will keep the bottle afterwards, you know, but this so what I will do is I will put back to keep it in a good condition, because obviously I'm not going to drink it all today, unless my friends drink it, not sure, because they are more like wine lovers. The alcohol content is 17 to 18 degrees. So I think that, you know, many people, even in France, they think that sake, nihonshu, because sake, or just a reminder, in Japanese it means alcohol. So wine is sake. Nihonshu, Japanese alcohol. That's what we call in our countries sake. But in Japanese, sake means alcohol. So beer is sake, wine is sake, whiskey is sake. But we think usually that the very strong alcohol that they serve, at the end of the meal, it's something like 60 degrees of alcohol, that Chinese hard liquor. Many French people think that sake is that alcohol. They don't know that sake is actually really close to wine, because wine, some high alcohol content wine have up to 14 degrees, right? But very often, well, sake I think is between 15 to 17. So they are pretty close, actually, even if maybe, well, I would get more quickly drunk drinking the same amount of sake. So maybe you would drink less, and I think as the alcohol content is a little bit higher, you really need to sip it. You would not take big mouthful as you do with wine. So yes, Nosh, this is daiginjo. So it's daiginjo is really the top sake. It's they polish the rice a lot, so they have to polish it at least 50%, more than 50%. So some of the makers, they polish it up to 90%. So only 30% of the rice grain remains. So this is why it gets more expensive. But I must say that I will try and do a more sake nihonshu videos, because this one to me is good because it has aged, so it's really complex on the nose and in the mouth. But if it's, let's say, normal sake, not unaged sake, I'd never recommend daiginjo, because I think that maybe, okay, it makes a refined sakes, but to polish the rice that much, to me, you cannot feel what we would call in the wine field the terroir. Because I think that the more you polish, the more you take out all of those flavors, right? And the raw flavors, which actually give a lot of flavor, a lot of taste to the wine. So the type of sake that I very often recommend at the beginning to foreigners who are not used to drink sake, because it was my experience too. At the beginning, people would make me have a daiginjo only, and to me it was not really tasty. But then I tasted other sakes, and what I really like is Junmai. Junmai is really, it's not that much polished, and I think you can really feel the terroir. So, and okay, they put a lot of, they say that rice, but also the water is very important to make sake. This is why they make the most famous areas are the ones where the water is really clean and clear and pure, and where they have a beautiful water. But the rice too, of course, adds flavor, right? It gives the flavor. And I think that the more you polish it, the more you take out all of those flavors, deep flavors. So if you can have Junmai, because Junmai, basically Jun is pure, Mai is okome, it's the rice. So the name tells it all. Junmai, pure rice. So I think that it makes really full-bodied and very complex sake, rice wine. And this is why always my taste goes to Jumei Shu. And these are the sakes that I like most. And when I go to a sake tasting, I always go back to the Jumei Shu because this is what they serve at the beginning. You know, the less polished rice, the sake that has less polished rice. And then they go, you know, to the daiginjo. But I always go back to the Jumei Shu because those are my favorites. So that was the vintage 99 Daiginjo sake. And also, yeah, I can recommend this kind of vintage sake. It will be hard for you to find it, I think. Well, especially this one, unless you stay at the Intercontinental in Osaka. But maybe, you know, there is a very nice, there are a few nice sake places. I did a shooting for the NHK many years ago in Omotesando Hills. They have a great sake selection in the sake shop there. I will try and find some pictures I took there last year and put it online if I can, or maybe shoot there someday. But sometimes they have vintage sake. It's not that old. They are not that old, just like something like 4 or 5 years vintage sake. But it can be a good experience. And I think that as foreigners, especially foreigners who are used to have wine, we really need those powerful and deep flavored sake. So if you have vintage sake, usually this is the type of sake. Thank you, Laura. That helps me because this was, oh my god, so expensive. So I thought, okay, I'm going to buy this for you guys. That, by the way, was 4,500 yen. So I'd say what, about $43, which is expensive for sake. I mean, if you go to the supermarket and you want to buy, let's say, a good daily sake, the 720 milliliters, that's only 200 milliliters, right? The classic 720 milliliters, that for a really decent sake, that's about $8. And that will be good stuff, right? I will try and do this kind of tasting one day. So that was expensive, but I thought, you know, okay, it's really something special that, you know, that I like to discover stuff because I'm a food hunter, so also an alcohol hunter. So it's really nice to have it, but I have some friends coming later, so I'm going to share it with them. It would be a pity, you know, to enjoy this on my own, but look, already, okay, I didn't drink it yet, but that's my share, and I'm almost half through it, right? So, but you know, it's nice sometimes to buy something different. Okay, so I wrote in the title that I would do some food pairing with it. I'm sorry, I was late. I wanted to do this on time. So I am not doing the food pairing now. I will do this someday, promise, because you'll see that it's really easy also to... of course, sake goes well with... nihonshu goes well with raw fish, with sashimi and sushi. Of course, but also I think it goes well with fatty food and like fried food. Like you have this with karaage. You can find the recipe on my channel. With karaage also, you know, fatty foods. Salami, I'm not sure. Salami is pretty salty, isn't it, Nosh? It can be good, but my choice wouldn't go for salami at first, I think, because you know, so I tried to have it with ham. You know, the kind of ham I had when I came back from France. You know, the red ham, the how do you call that? You know, that they age and it gets all dry. That I thought that was a little bit too salty for yeah, some kind of prosciutto. I thought that was a bit salty. What I like is really, you know, like greasy stuff. Like also sometimes I match this. I could match with a steak, with a beef steak, because it's almost like wine, right? This aged sake. So, but I will do someday. I will try and do some food pairing with sake and maybe a selection of sake. I will have to do this when I have some friends, because opening, if I buy 3 or 4 bottles, then it will sleep in my fridge and I won't drink it, because I'm more of a wine person. But just a reminder, I think I said that at the beginning, but when you open sake, don't keep the sake in the fridge before drinking it. Keep it in a dark and cool place. Then, once you've opened it, it keeps in the fridge in the good condition for a week. I had some friends, like they brought back sake from Japan, like they kept it for a month, 2 months in the fridge, but the flavor, it goes down after some time. So you don't have to drink it right away, the whole bottle right away. You can keep it for a few days, but please, yes, put the cork back or some, you know, even wine stuff on it, clean stuff, and then put it in the fridge. It will keep easily for about a week. But then, as I said, that the flavor, everything just gets down, so try and not keep it for too long. Also, as I'm on technical stuff, you know, when I see so many people, this is wine stuff, but you know, when you open your wine, it's not a cork like this, it's all you know, the same shape, and it's not easy to put back the side that was on the wine on this side, right? I see so many people putting the upper part back into the bottle, close it. Please do not do this, because there are bacteria on top of the cork, and if you put it back to keep your wine until the following day, the bacteria get into the wine and they can damage the flavor, everything. So always try and put back the side that was in contact with the wine, even if I know it expands and it's not easy, but do not put back the upper part, okay? Voila! So that was the 99 tasting, which turns out to smell and taste like Spanish sherry, which is, I think, a very interesting discovery for me too. But as I said, I think it's because they put up to 40% of distilled alcohol in there. So, and sherry is a distilled alcohol, so maybe that's why it's similar. So thank you for joining. I hope that was a nice discovery for you too. I see I've been talking for 30 minutes. I can't believe I'm doing this always. I'll see you. I think the Hanami, the Sakura is... Okay, attends. Alors, no, is important was... do I think that polishing is important to when people want to age sake? I would say I'm not a sake expert. I need to study more. But seeing what I taste from the bottle as a sake consumer, I don't think this would be important, because You can keep, I think, some texture maybe in the sake when you keep more of the rice. To me, from this tasting, what I think is that the amount maybe of seishu, of distilled alcohol you put in there, isn't it the most important to keep the sake? If they would not put seishu, I'm not sure. This is a discovery to me too, and I have to study this, to check out the sakes I've had, the vintage sake, if they have seishu, the distilled alcohol in there or not, because maybe if there is not seishu in the sake, maybe this is when it's hard to age it. That's my conclusion of this just one bottle tasting, right? And until now I've been I haven't checked out all this information because I wasn't sharing information like this on YouTube, but I am doing now, so it puts more pressure on me, because it's not just, okay, do I like it or not, which I was the point to me until now. I hope I can give you some relevant information, and that's some study for me too. So no, it's not for a new book, no, it's to try and share information with you on YouTube. So, but it's a good how to say, shigeki, it's a good I don't know how to say that in Japanese, but in English, but it's a little challenge that is good for my brain, I think. Okay, so thanks for joining. Merci beaucoup. And so yes, I was saying that I think the hanami, the sakura, are starting to bloom this weekend or at the beginning of the week. So, and the other day when I went to Shiki for work, I know that there is a very nice off-the-road sakura cherry blossom spot. So hopefully I can go there with the babies and we can share that sakura, that cherry blossom viewing with you. So I'll check out when it's in bloom, and then I'll do some live stream. Also, no, I won't take, I will take just Lisa and Charlie. I'm not taking the cats out. No. Also, I'm going to try and edit one of my other favorite bistro in Tokyo. I did not do a live stream. I took lots of small videos that I'm trying to edit very soon. So this will be uploaded hopefully this week. And then, the usual, when I'm on some food hunt, maybe we can share those moments together. So merci beaucoup, thanks for joining on a Sunday, and I'll see you soon, okay? Merci beaucoup, bye. Yes, that would be also, I don't know if I'll bring some alcohol to do the cherry blossom, okay, viewing. See you guys, thanks for joining, bye, à bientôt, bye bye. Alors, bye guys.